What is something that was normal in medieval times, but would be weird today? Animal courts. By far the most serial offenders were pigs, accused and convicted of chewing off body parts and even eating children. Most were found guilty and sentenced to death by hanging or being burned at the stake. In 1386, a convicted pig was dressed in a waistcoat, gloves, drawers and a human mask for its execution. Outlawry, which stripped a person of all legal rights and allowed anyone to kill them with impunity. The royal ass wiper. Seriously, someone would wipe the king's ass, and it was a respected position. Having rules about what colors and what type of clothing and hats you could wear, based on your occupation or social level. Sleeping with your entire family in one bed, or if you are a king, sleeping in the same bed with a rival king to cement your friendship and respect for each other as brothers. Privacy was just not really a thing in the Middle Ages. Fight instead of divorce. Why waste time on courts and child support? In medieval Germany, if a husband and wife reached a dead end on some important issue, they entered the ring. The rules, of course, equalized the forces of men and women. In the ring, the man was in a hole. One hand was tied behind his back so that he could strike with only one hand, and the wife was given a bag of coal with which she struck. Whoever wins the fight inflicts serious injury or the defeated one asks for mercy. It's, therefore, right in the dispute. Going to sleep as soon as it gets dark, waking up and hanging out with your family for a few hours in the middle of the night, and going back to bed until sunrise. A barber doing surgery. Donating your urine to a dyer. Throwing your crap out of the window. Wearing a codpiece. The hue and cry. Literally shouting that someone stole something and having the whole village chase after them. Duels over a bride at a wedding. This was a love potion recipe from the 10th century. A woman will lay a cloth on the ground and cover it in grain. She will then strip her clothing off and cover her body in honey. After that, she will roll around on the cloth and try to get covered in grain. Afterwards, she will get up and take the grain stuck to her body over to the mill and ground that into flour. She will then use that flour to bake bread and give it to her husband to eat. There was also another love potion that involves a wife presenting her naked, but to her husband, who then rolls bread dough on it that will be turned into bread. You have insulted my honor. I challenge you to a duel. Wearing cloaks. I don't understand why cloaks are amazing. What should bring cloaks back? Carrying a sword. Pissing and crapting in a bowl and just tossing your crap out the window in the morning. Boiling fruit before you eat it. People in medieval times thought raw fruit was bad for you, so they boiled their fruit before eating it. Boiling removes vitamin C from fruit. This habit is thought to be one of the reasons why there were high rates of scurvy in medieval times. One of the symptoms of scurvy is hallucinations. Scurvy-induced hallucinations are thought to be one of the reasons why so many people in medieval times were documented to have had religious visions. LPT. If you want to see Jesus, stop ingesting vitamin C. Possible side effects include loss of teeth, bleeding gums, aforementioned hallucinations, suppression of immune system, and death. In medieval times it was a common practice to display tapestries on walls instead of oil paintings and other works of art. Public executions. I've taken medieval literature in college. There's a lot of strange things that was normal for them, but strange for us. Selling off your daughter so the rest of your family can eat, putting iron near your baby to protect them from changelings, etc. etc. More horrifying than weird, but burning cats alive was a popular form of entertainment in medieval and early modern France. The cultural historian Robert Danton writes, cats also figured in the cycle of St. John the Baptist, which took place on June 24th, at the time of summer solstice. Crowds made bonfires, jumped over them, danced around them, and threw into them objects with magical power, hoping to avoid disaster and obtain good fortune during the rest of the year. A favorite object was cats tied up in bags, cats suspended from ropes, or cats burned at stake. Parisians like to incinerate cats by the sackful, while the Curemords, or Coromandor cat chasers, of Saint Chamond preferred to chase a flaming cat through the streets. In parts of Burgundy and Lorraine they danced around a kind of burning maypole with a cat tied to it. In the Metz region they burned a dozen cats at a time in a basket on top of a bonfire. In fact, it was normal to pick your nose back then. Thank you for watching the video. Tell us your stories in the comments below. Happy Spooktober.